There we go. I'm back. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, you're gonna have to put up with this voice. So just even changing the microphone makes OBS crash. So yeah, I'm back. So the helmet back here is actually a, it's the Polymaker Dark Galaxy Sparkle Blue, whatever they called it back then. Galaxy Dark Blue or whatever. And it's the Hello Kitty clone Trooper helmet, yeah. And it's got a red visor in it. It's actually really sweet. So I wore that for a little while on Star Wars Day for my work stream. I had to stream at work, and I had that on for a little while. I also got the Bad Batch Wrecker helmet with a bloody handprint on the front. But my boss is like, maybe don't wear that one because that one looks a little creepy, and which I agreed. So yeah. But hello, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna draw for the giveaway. I just did a giveaway a minute ago. So we had 20 entries for the day. That's awesome. And we got 171 total for this blue dragon back here. So this dragon is what we're giving away on Saturday. And that's what all of these giveaway entries are for. So last chance to get in on the giveaway. If you want to get in, I'm going to run a poll in the meantime. So let me go set that up. And what are we giving away today? So we have a 3D printed dragon. So we'll just call it like a Flexi Dragon, and then we've got laser engraving. Let's see, what else have I got that I can give away? I could probably be convinced to do a small Lego kit of some kind. So we'll give everybody a vote on that for 3 minutes. While y'all are voting on that, I'm going to go find a small Lego kit in case that's what y'all choose. So chatter amongst yourselves while I go off camera and try to find a small Lego kit to give away. Let's see, what do I have in my box of mysteries here? Oh, do I want to give that away tonight? Or that one? Oh, I've got so many good choices. So many choices. What? No! You freaking kidding me? Is Westery still in chat? Is Westery still hanging out? Westery, you'll never guess what Lego kit I just found in my box that I bought for myself to assemble, and never got around to assembling. But have the Boba Fett microfighter. So Westery was giving this away on her stream. I didn't win it, so I ordered one for myself, forgetting that I've already got one of these. So we'll make this a potential giveaway for tonight. So I've got another one of these on the way from Lego.com. But so yeah, we'll make this the Lego kit if that's what y'all are voting for. Small Lego kit is kind of what everybody's aiming for anyway, instead of the dragon or the laser engraving. So all right, so far the Lego kit's in the lead, very much in the lead now that y'all know what it is. So you'd rather have the Lego Boba Fett. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, the irony of it, for sure, Westery. Yeah, I totally forgot. So basically, I kept one of the boxes that one of my bamboos came in, and I basically filled it with all these Lego kits. Like, this was the other one that we were going to give away. So I bought this and the TIE Bomber, and we gave the TIE Bomber away on Star Wars Day, but I actually bought 2 of each of these, because I want to assemble one of each of them. And these were strictly for giveaways. So we'll give this one away probably in July. I just happen to have it still here at my desk. But then I bought like just a bunch of these little kits, partially for, maybe giveaways, but also like, oh, I want to put that together. So I've got some really cool brick heads that are not Star Wars themed that I would love to consider as giveaways at some point. So yeah, we'll see. All right, small Lego kit it is. So let's get in on that giveaway. If you're not already in the giveaway, exclamation point giveaway, just like me in chat, I'm not entering my own giveaway. This just pulls up stats for me to see We have 20 entries, so I'll give everybody 30 more seconds to get in on the giveaway, and then we'll go ahead and we'll draw for that Lego kit. And then I'm going to keep working on the assembly here, and then we'll do another giveaway after that. So 69% voted for the Lego kit. Nice. What did I miss about the hidden option? The answer is definitely obvious. Lego for all. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, 30 seconds is up, so let's do our giveaway daily here. Need to go find my drum roll, if that'll play. Daddy Wezzy, the creator. Speaking of Daddy Wezzy, the creator, have y'all seen that parametric vase that Daddy Wezzy made? Here it is in clear resin. It ended up a little bit smoky, but basically did this up in resin. And what's really odd about it, you can kind of see here, the bottom inch of it just didn't print well. When you take it off the thing and you put it through the alcohol bath, like all of this came out feeling really smooth, like it had been clean, but this part was still sticky. It was almost like it didn't nearly cure well enough. And testing, like, is it water safe or whatever, like, is it going to hold water? It started leaking like crazy through this, like it was an FDM print. And so I'm like, okay, well, it was obviously just a bad print. So I printed a second one, and it's still sitting in the cure machine right now. And let me pull this one out. And so my intention was I was going to print this out in resin and actually send it to Daddy Wezzy. And so this is the new one, and guess what? That same bottom inch, like, printed like crap. And this is still feeling like a little weird, even after like a really long alcohol bath and UV curing it. It still leaks through this part. And so the only thing I can think of is that this thing is, like, it's heavy. It's like 10 grams of resin with 2.5 millimeter walls, because resin doesn't really have like a base mode that you can do easily. And my thinking is that because this was adhered so well to the build plate, that just the tension of like constantly pulling this thing off is that it's like maybe stretching the resin here just from the weight of it, because eventually it works out fine. But this bottom part, like, it ends up, well, you can't see it because of the lights, but it looks like if this was an FDM print, I would say it under extruded like really badly. This bottom like inch and a half, probably inch and a bit. And then like there's like a very definite stripe here, and then it's fine after that, but like you can kind of see where my middle finger is here, where that stripe is. So my only thinking is that this thing is just too heavy to do as a resin print, but it looks really, really nice. I kind of wish I had like a translucent red resin. So this was the clear resin, so it doesn't come out exactly like glass. Like if I went back over it with more actual clear resin, it would come out really like fairly clear and pretty cool to see through. But yeah, it just didn't work out. So I tried it twice and it didn't work out either time. So I'm going to try and reslice it a little bit and see if I can get the UV light to stay on a little bit longer on the layers, at least for that first like third or so. Maybe that'll strengthen it up a little bit, and we'll see if that happens again. So print it in sections and join with brushed on resin. Yeah, but it doesn't look as nice though. Like it's a very complex model though. So even if I were to do that, you would still see where there's like a definite line cutting through it, because it's not like, you know, there are strict sort of like delineations where you can actually do that, because all these things are all zigzags and stuff like that. So yeah, I probably could, but it wouldn't look nearly as nice. So, but yeah, Daddy Wezzy, if you're did Daddy Wezzy say anything? Yeah, you're still there. Cool. So yeah, Daddy Wezzy, you're the recipient of a Boba Fett kit as well. So I can send this to you while I'm still working on the resin thing, or if you want to wait for me to finish the resin thing, then I'll send all this all at the same time. So let me know, and I'll either get this out in there right away. Try it in Polysmooth. Well, Polysmooth doesn't print very well on a resin printer. The idea of this is, like, I've seen FDM prints of this in base mode, and it looks phenomenal. Like whatever Daddy Wezzy, like math magic. You're definitely a math magician. it prints really nice on FDM, but I wanted to do it in resin, specifically with like a clear translucent resin, just to try to capture light in a different manner. So I really want to do it in resin. The other thing I could do is shrink it down a little bit and see whether that alleviates, if that's even what's causing it. Maybe it's just something in my slicer. Maybe it's something in lychee slicer. So Polysmooth Clear comes out completely clear. Does it really? Try a new spool of resin. It was a fresh spool of resin that I put through a dehydrator. Yeah, so should have been fine. No, I actually even tried a second bottle of the clear resin and it was fine. So yeah, I'll try scaling it down. Try Polysmooth. I mean, I can try Polysmooth. I've got a couple of spools of Polysmooth, but the point was that I wanted to do it with resin. Does Polymaker even make resin? Send them together. Okay, cool. I'll do that, Daddy Wesy. Cool. Let me go mark that down in my giveaway database. Table with giveaways. And we'll mark down Daddy Wesy on that one. It's gonna be Boba Fett Lego kit. I would have laughed even harder if Westery was the recipient of that Boba Fett Lego kit. Cool. So that was one of 2 giveaways. I've got other Lego kits. I think I'm going to limit the Lego kit giveaway to 1 per day. So the next giveaway that we do, we'll do either a laser engraving or a 3D dragon. Let y'all choose on that one. But yeah, I'm going to keep going on the build here. So Polymaker does not make resin. Yeah. Hey, Polar Filament. So Polar Filament also makes really tremendous filament. Let me go grab that filament that I got from Polar. I want to show you the color that I got. This stuff looks amazing. I can't wait to print in this. Let me go open it up here. I've got a translucent pink and a translucent purple in PETG, but this color of PLA that I got from them is absolutely amazing, other than being completely mislabeled, I think. Unless that's just the person's name, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the person's name that actually made it. But this is called Deep Space, and it's a really nice dark gray blue. Like, this is almost like a Batman kind of blue-gray kind of color. What confused me is the first time I opened it, I was looking at this label going, wait, they sent me something with rose color? Maybe Rose is the person that made it, because this side of it says it's PLA and Deep Space, but this side says Rose on it over here, so maybe that's just the person. About this spool is like 3612-Rose by Tyler. So is their name Rose or is it Tyler? I don't know. I'm not one to judge. Maybe it's both. But this is a phenomenal color. I've got, so if you all remember the Spider-Gwen statue that I made and the Superman statue that I made, that same designer makes a really cool Batman. Let me see if I can get that Batman model. If I can find this model to show you, here it is. This designer also makes an incredible Batman statue. Go to the designer. I can change screens without everything crashing on me. It's going to go to here, browser mode. So they make all these different statues, and one of them was the Spider-Gwen. This is the Superman one that I made. This one was enormous. This one was easily 25 inches tall. It was huge. It took a long time to do, but I want to print out this Batman model here, and I want to put an LED in the lamp for it. But I didn't want to do like strictly the black and gray. I want to use this color for his uniform. So this is the next large scale print that I'm going to be working on, and it's all like, it's many pieces. Like I'll be putting like several pieces just for the cape. Basically, like the cape itself comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and you basically like bondo it together and sand it down and paint it and all that kind of stuff. But most of his uniform here, I'm going to be doing in this Polar Filament, because this is a phenomenal color. Like, like I definitely I want to hit a polar and like grab like another spool or two of this color alone. Like it's a really great deep blue kind of color. Like whatever magic formula you put together on this is really great. The cardboard though, with the vacuum sealing, the cardboard is not in great shape though. Just because of the vacuum sealing, it tends to curl down the sides of the spool a little bit, and so it's not going to work well at all on the bamboo. But most of these parts that I'll be doing on his uniform, I'll be doing on probably one of the Prusos anyway. So this will work fine on the Prusa because it'll sit in the middle and print. But I'm really looking forward to like sizing this one up and getting this one printing as well. So big thanks to Polar Filament for making great colors. Does this model have the nipples? No, it's not the George Clooney model. But speaking of Do 3D, so this is the other site that I was mentioning where I've got like a reseller thing. They've actually got a really cool Batman kit here that I actually did buy. Which one was it? I mean, they make a Ben Affleck version. I think it was it that one, or is it the? They also have like a hybrid Iron Man Batman costume. I think this is the one that I got. Yeah, the Arkham Knight. So this is the kit that I bought. So this is like actual full body armor that you can buy. And they actually had a May the 4th sale where you got like half off at that price. So you basically got like a full suit of armor that you can 3D print. And it's like 100+ pieces. And it was like $35 or something by the time I bought it. So it was a really great deal. So I want to also print this in this color. So Polar, if you're hanging out, can you please make this in PETG? Can you make this color in a PETG? I know you need to run, but if you can just answer that real quick. If you can do this in a PETG, I will buy like a ton of this because I want to print this armor in this color in PETG. So let me know if you can make that in PETG. If you're already gone from chat, I'm going to hit up your support channel because this is going to be a great color for this armor. But I want to do it in PETG, not in $500 worth of filament later. Yeah, basically. But I mean, I've already got like tons of filament, and I mean, most of this stuff you're gonna like sand and filler and then paint and spray paint, whatever. Anyway, like you're gonna prime it and spray paint it anyway. So it really doesn't matter what color filament you actually make the stuff in, which is usually why like on their site, like they show you like this is what it's gonna look like in like 15 different rainbow colors because this is what you're gonna be printing it all in all these different colors anyway. But yeah, so I picked up a bunch of helmets, I picked up a bunch of armor off of here, and then by buying the reseller license, it also gives me either 2 more suits of armor or 12 helmets or 1 suit of armor and 6 helmets. So I picked up like I picked up an Iron Man set and that Batman set just for my own personal use. Out of like as not a reseller, but like they've even got like the kids version of the Mandalorian helmet from Mando version season 3. So they've got lots of really cool stuff on here. Like even the Kang helmet with the visor, like the whole bit. Like that visor would be really cool if you could do it in resin, but having resin right up against your nose would smell pretty bad. So, but they've got lots of really, really cool kits in here for sure. They've got several different versions of Iron Man armor and things like that. And then you can also break it down by like, Marvel, DC. So definitely go check that out. I don't have like an affiliate link with them, but I picked up a fair chunk of stuff with them. Go to the orders here. So I picked up the Daredevil helmet, the Scarlet Witch Tiara. These were actually free, so they occasionally have free stuff that you can grab on their site as well. And also the Snake Eyes helmet. And then I picked up Cad Bane. I'm actually going to 3D print this, or portions of this for Amish Ace, for a helmet redeem, if he's open to that. And then they had the, like all of the helmets from Bad Batch. So you can grab all those, and then I grabbed the Iron Man Avengers team suit, but this actually was a combination of Iron Man and War Machine as well. So you also get like the big Gatling gun that sits on the one shoulder. And then I picked up a Dark Saber and then the full Batman suit. So I'm pretty excited to get in on that. So got a pretty nice discount on all this, and then the May May the 4th thing. So they had a sale on it, but then the May the 4th brought this down to half price. So got all that stuff for $200. So it'll be fun to go in and print that stuff. Anyway, I digress. I was building a printer. Cool. So we got this grub screw in. I just have to go like figure out how well to like tension these things, and then we'll keep at it from there. Got to get Amish printing. Yeah, I know. Well, like his printers are working. He's got so much other stuff on his plate right now. He's got his 2-year anniversary, stream anniversary thing coming up. He's got this giant giveaway that's happening on Friday. Like he's got so much stuff going on with his stream. He doesn't need another distraction right now, like trying to get a printer up and running and working and stuff. But yeah, appreciate the new follows. Also had a follow from Little John Original and Urban Monkey, Maker Viking, Timur, Maker Mission. Thanks for all the follows. Appreciate y'all coming in on that raid from Digital Dragon. Let's get back and do some more building. All right, so where do we leave off? Previously on building a printer with Ian. So yeah, we just have to figure out like, turn the browser source off so you can actually see what I'm doing here. We've got these little nuts in here, and we basically just have to figure out like how much do I wind these things up to tighten them so that I don't have to worry so much about tensioning the idler pulley up here at the top. I can probably make this, 1 or 2 teeth tighter on this one before we have to worry about tensioning the idlers at the top. So, oh boy, I just lost a little grub screw. Good thing they gave me 1 extra in the bag. So mental note, don't do that again. So I'm gonna move that up like 2 teeth. I might have to go find extra grub screws just in case. Hopefully they don't need more than this 1 extra. No, I could probably go even tighter than that. All right, mental note, don't take the grub screw out all the way. Okay, there we go. All right, so now that I have kind of a frame of reference for how tight that was to put back on there, I'll have an idea of how tight to make these other ones here. Let's get these other ones going. So what else is going on with everybody tonight? Bring this one up like 2 teeth, I think, on that one. I'll duck from flying filament. Am I enjoying the build so far? Yeah, DC. I mean, it hasn't been a hard build at all. The trickiest part is trying to figure out where to put these little clamps on the belt. So they give you these little clamps that loop over the belt, and then this just loops onto the frame. And so trying to figure out like how much of this to loop back onto that has been the trickiest part of this so far. It's all been like really smooth. No, that one's a little too far. What else is going on with everybody else? I'm not offering support, just plastic. No one ever has too much plastic. Tell my wife that, would you? I've got 2 IKEA cabinets here full of filament. I think she might beg to differ. I have an awful lot of filament. I did say at one point I was on, I think it was Subsector or Westery's channel, or actually I probably said it on both, that I wasn't going to enter any more giveaways until somebody was giving away like filament storage, like a new cabinet or some other way of like storing filament. Because I have a bit of a problem. Yeah, storage filament cabinet. I would totally get in on that. I would totally get in on that giveaway. I mean, maybe not if I had to pay like IKEA shipping, 'cause I don't know if anybody's ever bought anything online from IKEA, but their shipping stuff is really expensive. Oh, that's too tight, too far. We're about to embark on both of our kids. So one's a teenager, one's a preteen. They're both at the point now where they're asking about other bedroom furniture. So we're going to be going through that whole process now of ordering from IKEA and shipping stuff and dealing with all of that. Thankfully we did a kitchen remodel a number of years ago, and we ended up overbuying the parts that we needed for our kitchen. And when we took it all back to IKEA, we ended up with a nice store credit that we've been kind of milking off for the last several years now. Every time it's like, oh, we want a new end table, let's just go put that on the IKEA store credit that we get back. So, and we're still using that up. So once we get all the new kids' bedroom furniture, though, we'll basically use up the last bit of that. But it's been really nice having it. Alright, let's see, how tight do I want to make that one? Somewhere in there, maybe. Yeah, it would be nice if they had like some kind of indicator, you know, maybe written on like with white ink or something, like this is where you want to set this thing to like be, you know, roughly tensioned properly. Because that is one thing I like about the Voron manual. When you're putting together a Voron, it tells you like measure out approximately this many millimeters, and it's more than you need, but it's like a really good minimum requirement of like, you know, you're going to need at least this much, so that you can always cut it off at the end if you end up with a little bit too much. But this one's just a lot of trial and error of like, I'm going to try it here and see whether that fits. I can probably even do one more beyond that. All right, I think we're good on there. Well, these back ones are definitely tighter than the ones on the front, so I might tighten these ones up here on the front one more. I'll go one farther on this one. I need a filament cabinet too. I mean, I've got two big IKEA cabinets with glass doors on the front, and they're both completely full, and I have filament all over the floor. And I've got another cabinet in another area of the workshop that I've started filling up as well, but I still have filament all over the floor. So that is one nice thing about the bamboos. Like once you get the AMS working on the bamboo, you go through a lot of filament in a hurry for doing multicolor stuff, or even just printing stuff really quickly. You go through a lot of filament really quickly. It's still a lot looser than on the back. That'll tension up all right, though. I'm gonna do one more here on this side. And then if this Voron derivative works out, and I can get into printing helmets, that's going to go through probably a spool of filament per helmet, which will be totally okay by me. I'll be printing up a storm at that point, hopefully. Because there's definitely a demand for printed helmets and stuff like that, and with the combination of airbrushing and doing some of the accessories for the helmets in resin and stuff like that, it should be a pretty nice setup once I get it all up and running. All right, so those are pretty much ready to go on those belts. Now it says to pull the pulleys by hand until the gantry, to raise the gantry to a certain height, but they don't tell you what that certain height is. So that's not helpful. I do user experience as part of my job, and this is a bad user experience where they're like, just manually pull these pulleys until the gantry like comes up to a specific height, but they don't tell you what height that is. So thank you for not being helpful. I guess I'll just kind of eyeball it and guess. think it was supposed to be just enough to get the foam out from underneath it. Yeah, remove the foam. They've got a whole instruction set on, don't keep the foam in there, dummy. Like I would have forgotten to take that foam out. All right. I should have brought my level downstairs to see if this is even kind of level. We'll do the actual leveling of it here in a minute. All right, so now we need to spin it around. We need to plug all these plugs in the back for the drag chain. So let's change over to camera 2. And we'll do all that over here. So as I was saying, one of the really nice things is they've got a really nice breakout board here on the back. And you have to figure out how all these things plug in. They do label them. So, you know, this one's a motor and this one's the Y-stop and things like that. There's only one plug that's that size, so there's only one spot to plug that one in. But they do a pretty good job telling you where to line those things up. So plug the cables of the drag chain into the below socket according to the label aside. Okay, and then fix the metal sheet for the Z-axis drag chain. So there's a metal part that we're going to bolt in here that basically this is going to attach onto. So there's a couple of screws on the back of this that are going to line up in a metal plate that stands up here that's going to hold that drag chain in place. So I need to find that metal plate. If I were a single size metal plate in the box of parts, where would I be? Not in that box. Or that bag. The bag of accessories. Ruh-roh. I think I'm missing any other parts. There's all just nuts and bolts. Ah, brand new printer, and I've already lost parts. Well, I'm pretty certain this wasn't my fault. The hinges, got the door stops, got the foam. Yeah, let's just use some PTFE. This thing here with the fan assembly. One thing I do like about other printer kits is they're like, you need these parts for step 1, you need these parts for step 2, you need these parts for step 3. This one's just like, here's a bag with all the random assortment of parts in there, good luck. I don't have that little metal plate that they speak of. Yes, I do. That metal plate is already on the cable chain. So I'm a dummy. All right. That's how my night's going. How's your night going? Hope y'all are having a better night than me trying to figure this thing out. All right, so that's already on there. I just need some M3x10s. Actually, I'll put that thing down there, and I need 2 screws. Oh man, all right. This thing's kind of hard to line up and hold in place and do all this stuff all at the same time. I want to get just one of them lined up, at least, just to hold that down a little bit. Come on, get in there. All right, we got that one going. All right, so now we just got to line these other ones up here. So this one is the R motor. And that R motor, wait, R motor? No, A motor. A motor is number 7. That one goes in here. I'm gonna guess that's our B motor. Yep. I'm smart. Okay, that's the B motor. And yes, this is how I talk to myself. That's it. Oh, one more plug over here. This one is Y-stop. Y-stop, because I said so. Alright, we got all those plugged in. Those are the only plugs coming off of there. So we got 2 plugs left. FS and fan. The fan I'm not plugging in. I'm not sure what FS is on here. So I'll get these last bolts in here. Let's see, what else did I miss? I still have some work stuff to do. My brain didn't come with that. You put the mattress on top. How many years do people have to deal with get the first layer to look like this picture? Yeah, exactly. I have a Repbox TT, so I can get 5 kilogram spools for the XL once it comes in. I've got it on Repbox. I had it on the wall for a while, and I was using that to feed into my pallet 3, and then my pallet 3 broke after 1.5 prints. I was in the middle of doing a calibration print, and one of the motors inside broke. That was last October, and it's still sitting in a box here on my basement floor, because I'm just too lazy to get around to calling DHL to come pick the thing up. That's how much I don't want to use the Pallet 3 Pro. I asked them if they could just ship me a new motor, and they're like, no, we want the whole thing back so we can diagnose what happened to it. So I gotta ship it back to Canada, wait for them to diagnose it, and then ship it back to me. And hopefully they've got some answers as to what actually happened. So, all right, so we got that step done. Next up, rotate 80 T-pulleys to make 4 corners of the gantry be the same height. Note the height error between the 4 corners should not exceed 1 millimeter. Please measure the height using a ruler and recheck the height error repeatedly. Okay, so they're telling you basically we want the 4 corners of the gantry to be the same height within 1 millimeter of each other, and to use this ruler to do so. So I will comply. We have to do it within a tolerance of 1 millimeter. That'll be fun. So that's in there snug. That's also in there, also equally snug. Really finding dog hair on my printer. It's always a good sign. Let's see, where did I measure that? Oh, except that went back afterwards. I needed to stay there no matter what. Up. Come on. Okay, that's pretty close. It's interesting that they tell you that you have to do this within a 1 millimeter tolerance when the printer is meant to kind of handle some of that tolerance itself. But I guess I get where they're coming from on that. Except by adjusting this front one, I just made this back corner drop. So there is that. This is where having something 3D printed at a specific size would come in. Very, very helpful. Where those things could just kind of sit in here and just kind of hold this thing up while you're working. That sounds like Whip hanging out in chat. What's going on, Whip? Good to see you. Feel free to get in on the giveaway. We'll draw another name here in a little bit. We already drew one entry, but we'll draw for another one. We'll do another poll here in a minute to figure out what we want to give away as our second giveaway. We gave away a Lego kit earlier. So are these actually... See, the thing with these the belt like slip off of there or something? Because like when I move it, it doesn't stay. Like it feels like it's slipping on the gear instead of actually turning the motor with the gear. And this is also still, oh, you know what? It's still really loose. Maybe that's why. It should be moving smoothly. Interesting. All right. We'll get it figured out. Because, yeah, I would love to, like, put something under here and park it there that it's not going to continue to slip back down. Because as soon as I move some of these other sides, these things skip back down on those motors, just like what happened there. It's like I can't even spin this thing around to put this other one under here to see if that's even matching without it dropping just from moving this thing around. These things are slipping. So this one needs to come up. Okay, so that one's good there. That one's good there. This one dropped again. All right, we're almost there. It might not be within their expected tolerance of 1 millimeter, but right now those are all pretty close. I think probably close enough. Is there a filament sensor? Yeah, there's a filament sensor on the, oh, filament sensor, that's FS, thank you. Yes, you folks are brilliant. This is why I love having a live chat, because y'all are smarter than me. So yeah, it's going to be the filament sensor. I'm also like way behind on chat here. Had an issue with my P3 Pro. They wanted to ship back as well. After 3 days, they said they couldn't figure it out and they just shipped a replacement. Yeah. Yeah, on mine, like I know exactly what's wrong with it. They just won't ship me the part. Looks like it's short-staffed, otherwise good. They have been very responsive, yes. And Johnny on their support team is phenomenal. So, all right, I think it's more across the board. MMU, honestly, yeah. No one's found a perfect way to do it. I mean, I like the AMS on the Bamboo, but the AMS itself needs re-engineering. I think the AMS could definitely be doing a better job. Tom at 521, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate the follow. We're putting together a Voron derivative here. By the way, if you're watching over on YouTube or on Kick, I know Kick is live. I don't know if YouTube is live, but if you're watching on those channels and you want to get in on the giveaway, you will need to come over to Twitch. Just do this command down here, exclamation point giveaway on Twitch. This command right here, exclamation point giveaway in chat, and we'll draw another name here in a couple minutes. All right, so at this point we've got these little hinges down here. You can't really see because it's a little off angle here on camera, but basically we've got a bolt here and there's a hole in the gantry, and we're basically going to be attaching these in here. And I'm going to guess those are with the M5x16s. Oh, slide the screw holes off of the 4 movable hinges. Oh, interesting. Wait, how am I supposed to move them off? Slide the screw holes of 4 movable hinges to the center. What? Slide the screw holes of the 4 movable hinges to the center. Well, this isn't a hinge. Move to the center of what? Like whoever translated these documents didn't do a great job. Insert an M5 screw and an elastic gasket. The screw should be aligned with the threaded hole of the movable hinge. It's not a hinge. Why are they calling this a hinge? This doesn't swing. It's not a hinge. M5 by 35s. Stop using the common sense. You are the funny. All right. So I also need an M5 gasket. So, I mean, they do a pretty good job, like, labeling this stuff. I've certainly unboxed stuff on the stream where they're like, yeah, go find a gasket. And you're like, wait, what? The thing is, they said the gasket should be elastic, but these are not elastic. These are metal. I got lock nuts. Got M5s, M5 nuts. These are the only thing labeled gasket, and they are not elastic, they are steel. So I'm going to use them anyway. And on some of this stuff, they do give you extra parts, but some of it they don't. Like, they only give you 4 of these bolts, so don't lose them. And again, unlike a traditional Voron kit, these parts are all injection molded. So far, going together very, very well. Like, the tolerances of getting these things fitted together are actually working out really nicely. I'm not sure what they're talking about with move this thing to the center. But wait, did I miss a step? There's like a screw on the underside of the hinge here that I think I've got to... Do I undo or do I tighten it up? What do we do with that? Slide. So let me show you what I'm confused about here in the manual. So it says slide the screw holes of 4 movable hinges to the center. Like, I went through and raised everything up to approximately the same height. It is definitely not going to be this tolerance of 1 millimeter because it constantly is moving around on these gears. But there's like a bolt here on the bottom that you can actually undo with your fingers that I think I have to undo in order for the screw to even go down in from above. It's like, it doesn't tell you to take this part out. Like, this picture makes it look like that part is still there. But if I don't loosen this... Sorry, just realized with a browser you can't see what I'm pointing at here. If I don't loosen this bolt on the bottom, I can't get the screw in on top up here. Let me turn the camera, or turn this so you can see kind of what I'm looking at here from a camera angle point of view. So we've got to put this bolt in, but there's this thing underneath here, and if I don't loosen this, this doesn't actually screw in anywhere. So, like, if I back this out as much as I can, I think that actually backed it off. What the heck? I have no idea. Oh. It's actually locked into whatever that round steel thing is on top. This is a really strange construction. But this won't go down any farther unless I undo this bolt a little bit. If I undo this bolt, this seems to go down a little farther. No, now it's not. Okay, now I'm really confused. Anybody else want to help translate some of this documentation? Because this doesn't make sense. And every time I jostle this thing, that frame drops like another millimeter. So that tolerance thing is going to be like really, really off. So slide the screw hole of the 4 movable hinges to the center. But the center of what? Like, this doesn't move. Like, it spins in place. Oh! Oh. That's interesting. Okay. Need a camera angle that I can show you. So what they don't tell you about that thing is, see, I thought it was like the top of a screw head with a bolt inside of it. That's what I thought this was. I thought it was like just like a round head screw or something that you could actually put another bolt down inside. But let me show you what this thing actually is. Let me switch over to this camera. I'm not going to be able to get close enough, am I? Let's see if this will work without screwing up the camera. It's actually a ball. It's like a chameleon eyeball thing. It's like a ball in there. And so when they say move it to the center, they basically mean like move this thing so it's like perfectly in the center. It's also on a spring. So this thing actually springs up and down, but it also moves around a little bit as well. So when they say move it to the center, I think they mean just align it so that that hole is pointed straight up. But once you start threading a screw in there, it's actually really hard to take back out afterwards, because you're screwing it into that ball and then that ball moves around. So just like M&M, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance, because I'm not sure that this is actually working out the way it's supposed to now because of how that thing is sitting in there and operating. And like I said, every time I try and do something on the gantry here, every time I do something here, this whole thing like continues to drop like another millimeter at a time. So there's no way that 1 millimeter tolerance is gonna sort of stick around. Like every time I wiggle this thing, like the whole thing is like ready to fall. So I have a feeling I need to tension this belt a little bit more before I go too much farther on this. I think part of it's that belt tension is like way off on that corner. So I'm gonna start with that, and then I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to handle that ball socket. Make sure not to lose that grub screw, because I don't have any extras of that grub screw. All right, so I'm going to try and tension this up a lot more than before. See if I can get this going here. I would say the belt is super loose, yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, it would be a good experience if they would mark on the belt, like, this is approximately where you're going to need to put that adapter or something. Because, yeah, I kind of feel like once this thing is tight enough, it's going to hold that belt on those gears. But you're also supposed to be tightening the tension from up here at the top and not so much on these pieces. I need to prop this up. That's not gonna work. Come on. No, that's not gonna work. I need to back this thing off. I got a little too aggressive trying to tighten up this belt. I think I'm just gonna tighten up the idler pulleys at the top to fix this, as this is not working the way it intended. Cool. We'll do another drawing here in about 5 minutes. So if anybody else wants to get on that giveaway, go ahead and do exclamation point giveaway. We'll draw a name right on the hour. All right. So yeah, that's still really loose. So I'm gonna try tightening up this thing up top. Let's use the right size. So oh yeah, that's much smoother now. That won't drop at all. So I'm just going to tighten these things up top. It didn't tell us to tighten up the top yet in the instructions that I recall seeing. I want to do that just a little bit, just to keep this thing from jogging around too much while we're trying to get this last part done. Or this next part at least. Certainly not the last part. Sorry, I know some of this is off camera. I don't have a good overhead kind of camera set up yet. Okay, at least, well, this one back here is going to move. All right, so let's tighten this one up. Otherwise, I think we're going to be okay to, like, at least do this next part. At least where these things aren't gonna completely skip off a gear. Oh yeah, that's way better. Okay. Did I just miss that in the instructions? Did it actually tell me to tighten those idler pulleys? It just said pull the belt tight through the screws on the top. It didn't actually say to tighten those yet, but you have to tighten them a little bit to get that going. Okay, so now I'm going to try basically this step again here, where I'm going to measure the height of these and make sure that these are all the same height all the way around. Then we'll go from there. So yeah, you got about 3 minutes left, and then we'll do another poll on the hour for what we're going to give away here, and then we'll do another giveaway. All right, this is way better, and it's actually staying where I put it, so that's nice. Yeah, it's going to be way easier to do this 1 millimeter tolerance now. I'm gonna have to spin this around, but at least I know they're not gonna fall off of that. This is where having a workbench that you can walk around 360 degrees would be extremely helpful. So that's good there. Just need to double check these back ones again, and we should be good to go. Still good. It still sags a little bit on that corner. I'm going to tighten up that grip screw a tiny bit more, or the idler pulleys. Again, this is where having like a known size in here would be really helpful, that you could set on multiple corners, because where this is set up right now, it's not working out very well. So I'm going to try one more thing. All right, bottle of resin for you. Bottle of resin for you. Now, so I need to figure out, this is where I would prefer to have a level or something instead, because I don't really have a good frame of reference here for how tall that thing is, because we don't have motors on the front.